Oh yeah. There it goes.
Oh, shoot. I guess my trigger decided to work today. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Oh, hang on. I am falling apart here. Hey, there we go. Light now on me. Good. So welcome back, everybody, to another video. I don't know if you saw last week's video, but I shot all of my photos with a little small 2 megapixel camera, and the photos came out surprisingly cool. Actually, I went with a whole vintagey look and it kind of worked. But the whole purpose of that shoot was, one, to film with that camera, but then to also do a styled shoot with the actual camera, with the R5. Now, I've been watching kind of a lot of Yellowstone lately, watched the whole series, absolutely loved it. So I kind of wanted to implement a little bit into it. And I'm also coming out with a new phrase. So this phrase is kind of inspired by Yellowstone. If you've watched it, you know they talk about going cowboying and let's go cowboy and all that.
Cowboy up. We got work to do.
So without further ado, let me bring you into the shoot and let's go photo.
Feet are gonna come out a little bit. Up. Good. Yep, just like that.
Hey everybody, Will here, and today we're kind of doing a mix of shoot today. We are doing a natural light shoot, and then as it gets darker and even a little bit beforehand, we are going to be adding in an off-camera flash. Equipment-wise, I am using a Canon R5 Mark I, the RF 2870 f2, the Godox AD200 Pro with a softbox. I believe it's a Photoshoot. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'll link everything in the description if you want to check it out. Anyways, my goal here is to get 2 different moods of photos. The first, we started with just doing natural light, and this first spot that we found was the grassy area, which I absolutely love the tall grass. It really gives a mood and a vibe to the photos, and based on our mood board, we really liked this shot. So the one thing, after we were done avoiding all the sand spurs and me stepping in them all and jumping around as I pulled them out because they're super painful, the one thing I really liked is using the foreground of the grass to really create dynamic images. And I wanted to go with a very soft look. We weren't really going for any intensity. It was more of soft and intimate and just kind of like being in the grass. And I think we really captured that with the nice glow of the sun in the background and the flowing grass, the tall grass and stuff. It really created the images that I really liked. Also, our model Ella, she was absolutely phenomenal. She's a newer model, but I think she really fit the part, and she rocked it. Honestly, she did so good, and the photos turned out so good because of that. So after the natural light shoot, I brought the Godox AD200 Pro, and I was starting to shoot with that in the full sun. Now, this was the first time I really noticed that I had trouble keeping up balancing with the sun. I was using full power on the flash, and I noticed that at certain distances, it really didn't add too much. So I brought it much closer, and that seemed to balance it. But it would have been beneficial to have a stronger light, maybe a 300 or a 400. However, once I got it situated and the flash was working really well, I noticed the photos came out really, really good. The biggest difference that I noticed was when you're using a flash, you get a more sense of a professional photograph than you do from natural light. Now, I'm not saying that the natural light is better or worse than using off-camera flash, but there is a definite difference. It almost, and I noticed this immediately, gives kind of a green screen feel. When using the off-camera flash, you get such a great separation from the background that it almost looks fake. And that's nothing wrong with that. That is definitely a style and a look, and people want that. But I did notice that was, for me, the main difference. Using the off-camera flash, you get like a really nice photograph, great separation, great detail. You get the catch light in the eye of the model, and it looks really good. Using natural light, you get a much softer look. It's still sharp, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about sharpness, but you get a much more blended photo. The separation is not as harsh or sharp, and the background and the model kind of blend together, as opposed to using the off-camera flash, where there definitely is a separation even in the raw images. that is noticeable. But overall, it just depends on the look you want to create. Now, once we were done in the grass, we moved over to the beach and we just kind of had a little bit of fun. I let her play around and we were using all natural light, no flash. We wanted to wait till the sun kind of started setting to use the flash. So we did a bunch of cool little photos, little creative styles, all based on our inspiration. And I think the photos were coming out really, really nice. We tried different poses. We tried kind of just movements. We tried, awkward things that weren't necessarily a natural pose, but could potentially look really good. That's kind of what I do a lot of times is I have set poses. I have set things that I do. But once I get those done or, in the middle, I like to just kind of have fun, try different things, put your arms up different, try different angles, try different movements. I like to do all kinds of creative things. And sometimes they turn out terrible, which is okay. One of the things that I learned about photography is personally, and probably you too, you learn more from your mistakes and your bad photos than you do from your good photos, because you know what you did wrong. You can see what you did wrong, so you can correct it and make it work. From a good photo, sometimes the photo is just so good, you're like, God, I have no idea what I did that's great. Without creating that exact same photo, you can kind of learn from it, but I always find that I learn way more from bad photos than good photos. So get creative, have fun. Now, as soon as the sun started going down, oh my gosh, it was a beautiful sunset. We brought out the off-camera flash and it just popped off. Let me tell you, these are some of my favorite photos that I've taken. They look so freaking crystal clear, sharp. She was rocking it. The sunset was rocking it. The flash was rocking it. Emma, who was shooting the behind the scenes, we were all rocking it. Everybody was rocking it together, and the photos really show. So we played around and we did a mix of far, wide, and close up to kind of give a story of her just hanging out at the beach looking fabulous. And I remember we decided to do a shoot on the lifeguard hut, and I remember I told her what to do. I was like, all right, go sit up there and, kind of drape over the railing and stuff. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, just trust the process. Trust the process. She was not feeling it. She was like, this is not going to be a good photo.
Yeah, one down.
Like you're in prison. Okay.
Yeah, this one here. Perfect, yeah. People just don't trust me. All right, lean forward, stand tall, look this way.
And it turned out really, really good. Sometimes the weird photos or the photos that you're not sure are going to look good end up looking great because it's lit right and the feel, the mood, the face, everything just looks right. So overall, I was really happy with the shoot and everything turned out really good. Now, getting into editing, we're not going to go over a whole edit here, but just kind of a basic overview. I use kind of a mix of my presets with just basic edits. A lot of times I would start with one of my presets and then I would tweak from there. I used my sharpening action, which I'll link in the description, to sharpen the photo, as well as I used Reblum for retouching. It's an AI retouching app that I found works really, really good. I'll link that in the description as well if you want to check that out. But overall, the photos turned out freaking fabulous. And I'm super pumped with how everything came out. The shoot went really, really good, despite some issues like stepping on every single sandburr out there. Yes, I know I could have worn shoes, but I never do. And it just is what it is, whatever. But thanks to Ella for coming and shooting with me. Thanks to Emma for shooting all the behind the scenes. So you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll link everything that I talked about and that I used in the description. Here's a couple of other videos that you might want to check out. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.